We are thrilled to announce that Totes Recall. Oh, did you want to do this, Dan?
No.
Oh, we are thrilled to announce that.
Can I do it?
Okay, sure.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do it.
Totes Recall is going to be live. We are taping a live episode in Minneapolis at the Trilon Theater on February 22nd. So mark your calendars, book your flights, or I guess you could just wait and listen to the podcast. Anyway, if you go to live.totesrecall.com, you can get tickets and prizes and more. And then we're also releasing some cool things in conjunction with our live show. So even if you aren't in Minneapolis, you can take part.
Yeah. What's the website again?
live.totesrecall.com.
Wow. Do it.
I would go there.
We're watching Men in Black.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we are.
Here comes Men in Black.
Spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Something.
Something dancing with an alien.
Oh, it's perfect because they can't remember anything either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we chose it.
Yes. Yes.
Not because it's only 97 minutes.
Anyway, live dot.
Totes Recall.
Oh, sorry.
Dot.
Come.
Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we don't remember very well. Maybe because we haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe because our memories are bad. One of those two.
Or maybe because we realize we haven't seen it ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, after we've done that talking part, we hit pause on the recording equipment. Go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh,
behind the
please.
curtain.
Hurry it up.
Eat pizza and salad.
How
How
many?
many of each?
No.
2. Thank you, patrons.
Irrelevant.
Patrons.
And then watch that movie. Come back. Talk about what we've learned about the movie and ourselves. That's
Great.
it. That's the show.
I love it.
My name is Dan.
I'm Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh.
Oh.
Star Wars.
What's the third one called?
Episode 5, the second one.
Yeah. What?
What's the third one called?
Return of the Jedi.
See, I think that should be the second one.
Disagree.
We've already talked about this, and I disagree.
I also
again.
disagree.
Because that would end the end of the trilogy. The Empire is striking back. Like it's their turn.
Oh,
No way.
it's like your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn.
Yeah. You don't want to end with the Empire doing their thing. You want to end with the Jedi doing
But
their
where
thing.
does the Jedi even go?
What do you mean?
The Jedi
It goes
is...
to Swampland.
Oh.
They were gone.
Oh, is this Swampland?
Oh, is this the
Yeah.
one with Yoda? I mean, I understand Yoda's in a lot of these.
They were
Yeah.
gone for a long time, which you'll find out if you watch the prequel movies, or find out because they just tell you like 3 times in this movie. And then they return in the third one when Luke Skywalker, I don't know, arbitrarily, they're like, you did it.
But isn't
You're a
he?
Jedi
Hasn't
now.
he always been a Jedi? Isn't that the thing? Because he has the
Mitochondria?
That is not canon at this point in the movies. We won't talk about it.
Wait, are you?
Because you're just born a Jedi, right? You either are or you're not. But I
Or
guess
you
you could be an untrained Jedi.
You're force sensitive.
Yeah.
Jedi's like getting knighted.
There are plenty of people who are force sensitive who aren't Jedi.
Oh, like General Leia.
Yes.
Mm.
She could be a Jedi.
If she took the time.
She chose to. Or if,
Busy.
yeah, or
being
if,
a leader. To
probably.
her people.
Yeah, Luke was probably like, maybe they'll talk about it in the new movie, which, by the way, is coming out, I think, today. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
listen to this and then go watch it.
So
Yeah.
go see it.
Prepare the
You're
last
welcome,
Jedi.
Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without this bump,
No
who
one
knows
would
where
see
their
it.
ticket
No
sales
No
would be.
one would see it.
Marketing money our
Yeah.
way.
Who would hear about it without our tie-in podcast, right?
Yeah. That's why we're doing it. For the kickbacks.
Yeah.
Welcome, Disney.
Anyway, in this movie, no one returns. I mean, people return a lot, but at no point are they officially Jedi, I guess.
Yeah.
So Yoda's not an official
He's
Jedi.
a Jedi, but he doesn't return because someone comes to him.
But that's the third movie.
Wait, no,
I'm
is the
just
swamp
saying,
stuff
I just
with
feel
the...
like Return of the Jedi is a stupid name.
All right, Jesus.
All right.
Come at us, Vader heads.
Nice. We should, as we often do with these,
Shut up, nerds.
shut up, nerds.
Uh-huh.
This podcast is all about us not knowing what we're talking about, so can it
Chill it.
and enjoy the show.
Absolutely.
But also shut. Beth, do you want to take a full rundown of what you think happens in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The
Okay.
Empire Strikes Back?
It's gonna be really bad.
I love it.
Okay.
Wait, the movie or your memory?
No, the movie's gonna be great.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
got it.
But this is the one that I've seen the least because I believe at the end Luke Skywalker gets his hand chopped off, and I hated that as a kid.
Sure.
So I think I've only seen it once.
What?
Wow.
But I've seen the other two several times.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, so he goes to a swamp.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it so far.
Yoda's there.
Yeah.
He trains him, and then he's like, "Oh, this is too hard." And then, wait, is this the one where it starts in a snowland?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Best bet, Snowlands.
Okay, and then he gets cold.
Who gets cold?
Luke?
Luke?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Han Solo.
Han Solo gets
Han Solo gets cold.
No, Luke gets cold.
Luke gets cold. Write that down.
Then there's like a giant. Then there's like a giant horned fur thing.
Ooh,
And
okay.
he like cuts it open,
Yeah.
and he goes inside of it, and it's gross.
Right.
Yeah, that is
Yep.
gross.
Then he has to be warm.
Gets to be warm.
He gets to be warm. Is Jabba the Hutt in this one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe?
Wait, he's
No.
got to be.
Why?
Isn't all this all that?
Is it Boba Fett in this one?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes. For sure.
Wait, so wait, all of that Jabba the Hutt thing happens at the in the third one?
Yeah.
Also, I always thought it was Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like,
That's amazing.
It wasn't the Hut. His name
yeah, I
was
did
Jabbatha.
Jabbatha.
Samantha.
First name Jabbatha?
Oh, that'd be
I have
amazing.
to
First name
really
Jabbatha of the
think it
Hutts.
through. Every time I say it, I'm like Jabba the Hutt.
I'm
That's
still okay. Parentheses. Shut up, nerds. I'm still unclear if Hut is like the family name or his title.
Oh.
I thought it was what kind of
but it's
creature he
profession.
was.
Yeah.
I thought it was profession, like the bookie.
I think
I don't
the
know.
slug
Is it-
people are Hutts.
Oh, they're all Huts.
That's my impression, but
it-
I haven't done any
So
reading about it.
his honorific as a like warlord on that planet is just like it'd be like if I were Dan the human being.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well,
And if that's true, it's kind of lame.
I would go with
Yeah.
like Dan the bookie or Jabba.
You think it's his
the-
job? And what is a Hut job? Also, he's not in this movie.
No, it's not. I think he might be mentioned at one point. Maybe
Oh, don't they have like at least something with him in it?
they mention
In
him.
like the reworked one, maybe.
They
No,
jammed
that
him
was in
into
the
the
first
first
one.
one.
Ugh.
Is Lando Calrissian?
Yeah, close enough. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lando
boy.
Calrissian.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Billy
nerds.
D.
I actually feel bad for nerds right now
Billy
because
D.
by
This
now
is
their
so
heads have
painful.
exploded.
They're just
They
rage
have ripped
tweeting
their
already.
their speakers out of their car.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, I'm curious what year we think this came out because
Oh,
that will
great
inform
question.
my next memory.
Are you
Let's
done
see.
summarizing the movie?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. What happens? Somebody gets warm and
I
there's
don't
a
know.
swamp.
Vader's there.
Uh huh. Good bet.
They have to fight the dark side.
Uh huh.
Then his hand gets chopped off, and then I turn it off.
Oh,
Wow.
Hand off, turn it off.
Yep.
Wow.
At the end, they're looking out a space window.
there you go. Space
Ooh.
window.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, Space Window.
Does he find out that Leia's his sister in this one?
I don't think so.
Does he
Oh,
kiss her
really?
in this one?
Oh, the kisses it got to be in this one, right?
Definitely.
They're sitting in trees.
Wait, they kiss?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty
Nice.
Roses
mild.
kiss?
But they definitely kiss.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. It's like a bro thing.
Romance.
It's not even a bro thing. It's sort of like Leia being like, bros are stupid.
Wait, bros are stupid, come here and kiss me?
Yeah, because she was basically saying like, I'm going to spite other bro by kissing this bro.
Oh man, is this
Her
the one
actual bro.
Yes.
where Hans does the semi-sexual assault?
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as a semi-sexual assault where he sexually assaults?
I mean, we're in 2017, so that is a
I-
discussion that everyone's having
I
right
think
now.
he does
Yeah.
it in every movie.
Not in
but
every
no, this one
movie.
is when he like pins her against the spacecraft wall.
And what do you
Ugh.
think his name is?
Han Solo? Hans? Is it Han?
Oh.
Han Solo.
Hans?
Solo. H-A-N
Uh-huh.
Solo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But
Just checking.
in my
Not
mind,
Hans
there is a
Olo?
moment where I'm like,
Hans Olo?
Hans? Olo? No, but
What?
it's Han Solo. I get it.
I love it. I'll take that bet. He sexually assaults her in this movie.
Oh,
Come
God,
at us,
yeah.
nerds.
Yeah.
These are
Sad.
2017 eyes
Exactly.
blazing the eye of 2017 onto your franchise.
Yeah.
Like Sauron.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Sauron is the
He's
ultimate.
the captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah. He's
Oh.
and he's the leader of the dark side. So like,
Wait, Captain of the Enterprise?
yeah.
He
and the
took
lead.
over from Spock.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, you.
So Vader. Okay, so at the beginning of the galaxy, the elves created 3 rings. They
All
gave
right.
1 ring
Okay.
to the Jedi,
All right.
1
I
ring
see.
to the elves,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 ring to
To
the
Starfleet Command.
to Starfleet Command. But then Doctor Who came in and took one of the rings.
It's the Doctor.
Sorry, the Doctor.
The Doctor Who.
The Doctor Who.
He came in,
Mhm.
but then
She came in.
she came
Oh,
in.
2017.
Yeah.
2017,
Or
She,
18. I don't know.
she came in.
Do they even have genders?
The
Yeah.
Doctor?
Yeah?
It's like a big deal that.
No.
they
I
need
mean, I
that.
understand the actors have genders, but like, does the character actually have a gender?
There was one time that the Doctor regenerated and was very relieved that he was not a woman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
2017 eyes.
But
Yeah.
I mean, does it
Probably
have a true
because he
form?
knew he would face a patriarchal culture.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Things
Yeah.
would be more difficult,
That's a good point.
for her.
Then-
For that doctor.
For that Doctor. For the Doctor.
For the Doctor.
The Doctor.
Anyway, the Doctor's definitely in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They
Um,
hire Mal,
Oh
Who?
gosh.
the
now
captain of
he's
Serenity.
Serenity.
Oh.
Serenity?
Serenity?
Come on. Come on.
Anyway.
They put on their brown shirts,
Okay.
and they go and overthrow Italy.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I do
So
remember
what
this
year?
movie.
So that's the
1983. is my
No,
guess.
that late?
I'm going 82.
I'm going to say 80.
Wow. I guess I'll round out with 81.
Ooh, maybe
Might as
83
well.
was Jedi. Shit.
Well, then I may have seen this in theaters.
Ooh, fun.
Because I remember being too young and very tired
Huh.
and watching something that seemed dark and scary and then being told later it was Star Wars. And it would have to be this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember definitely going to see Return of the Jedi and loving the Ewoks, and I was
Sure.
old enough to really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
I was too young for.
Interesting.
It was probably like 7 p.m., but it felt pretty late.
Maybe it was 81.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think one of them came out in 82, the year we were all born.
Because we're all 35.
We're all
Oh,
35.
right.
So that's why I guess 82.
For our newer listeners, we are not all 35.
Yeah.
We are. We actually our
are-
ages range over 16 years.
Yes, which I would say makes it a more
true?
interesting podcast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's true.
Tell your friends.
It's hard to do that math because then you realize you're the oldest by 16 years, but then you get over it.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Who cares? Age is a number.
But it does affect who's seen stuff in theaters, and very often I have, sometimes multiple times, because that was before VCRs. Oh God. Anyway, Star Trek.
I watched this on VHS.
Me too,
for
a lot.
Sure. Because we had all 3 of them on
Oh, must be
home
nice.
video.
I also
Ooh,
had that.
Which
No
one
big
did you
deal.
favor?
I favored Return of the Jedi for the Ewoks.
Yeah.
I favored this one.
I love Ewoks.
Really?
They're so cute.
They're
Do you
really
feel like
cute.
that has to do with your like outlook on life?
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. I absolutely do.
Because
Wow.
this is the saddest one.
Yeah, this is the one where this is the one where nothing goes right. Like even like their victories by even the wins the heroes get at the end are like pretty shitty. Like they win in that they are still alive,
Yeah.
basically.
Wow. Do you think we're in the Empire Strikes Back phase of our lives?
As
Oh.
a USA number 5.
Yeah.
Or as 35-year-olds.
Both.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope
Oh,
that
man.
the Jedis are soon to return.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we start on Hoth.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
Snow planet.
Good pull.
Oh, like
Yes.
Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Okay.
Because it's like the upside down.
Yeah.
because
Everything's
Atlanta is
cold.
covered in ice, as we all know.
Well, no, when there was a big ice storm,
Hmm.
people made jokes about Hothlanta.
That's pretty good.
And then they set
Oh.
up
Oh.
Star Wars figurines in the
Mhm.
foreground
Oh.
and then snow in the background. It was a big deal. It was funny. It was a meme.
It was meme.
It was meme.
It was me. We started Hoth.
Yep.
Hans Olo is
Han
there.
Solo, Luke's
Eyewalker.
Skywalker.
They're all there.
Yep,
They
and
have fight.
Princess Leia.
Yeah. They're all there. The Empire finds them,
Yeah,
and they fight.
yeah.
And there's a lot of cool robots.
Yes, there are.
AT-ATs, ATSTs.
Mhm.
At Walkers.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I like those.
That's a
And-
thing I knew.
Nice.
Mr. Eyewalker
Uh-huh.
has to
Oh.
like bionic commando up to the bottom of one and put a bomb on it. Quite
Oh yeah.
He's got a grappling
He's
hook,
got like a weird grappling hook.
and it's
like
awesome.
Batman.
Yeah. More people should have grappling hooks.
Like in general?
But then does he get lost and then have to crawl inside of a tauntaun?
That's it. Yeah. Why
Oh,
does he go out there though?
he. Ooh.
Is he because he's sad?
I think they're. I think the idea at the beginning is like the
Uh-huh.
Empire's looking for them,
Yeah.
and then they know that they like drop some probes down onto the planet, so they need to go take out the probes so that they don't find them as quickly.
Because old whiny pants C-3PO
Oh,
Oh,
quotes some, I think
C-3PO.
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all, come on.
quotes some statistics on chances of survival
Uh-huh.
and going out into the snow.
Uh huh.
It's very low.
Yeah.
Comically low?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I wonder, does he not factor in being a Jedi? Is that like not in his equations? Because no
Probably
one
not.
believes in it.
Yeah.
Because it's like magic, and that's math,
Yeah.
and math and magic are enemies.
Yes.
What
Wow.
about a math magician?
What
Oh.
about a math magician? Sounds like a great educational video game. So he goes out to kill a antenna or whatever.
Oh, this
I
is
think so,
sounding
yeah.
Really boring.
It's a
But then he-
cool robot. It's not an antenna. It's like a crazy robot that beeps funny.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
But
love
then
a
he
good
gets-
beeping robot.
Yeah.
Then he gets jacked by a Yeti,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
probably has a name. Shut
Oh,
up,
I'm
nerds.
sure it does.
But it's a Yeti. That's all I agree.
Basically,
It's a Yeti. And
Oh, in a cave?
in a cave. The
Definitely.
ice cave.
Definitely a cave.
Okay, ice
yep.
cave. I remember that.
Oh, and then I remember this from a pop-up book that I had as a kid.
Ooh.
He pulls his lightsaber to him, and in the book, that was a little slidey part where you could slide the lightsaber across the page
Fun.
into his
Oh.
hand.
Oh, using the Force?
Cool.
I use my hand, but in the movie, he uses the Force. Yeah.
You know, I may not have seen this movie since a very long time.
Like theater time or
I mean, maybe I saw it in college.
sure.
I mean, we're going decades. It has been decades since I've seen this, if I've seen it since I was 6.
Wow.
Because the other ones are so much more Ewok.
So much more Ewok.
Just one of them is more Ewok.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in spirit. This one's a real downer.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, because it must have been college because I remember talking about there is no try, there's only do.
Oh, yeah, that's a
and
Yoda
the
thing.
Yoda part about the dark side being what consumes you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And talking about that in terms of the Joseph Campbell understanding of story.
Yeah. I assume this was while you were like smoking clove cigarettes out an open window
I mean,
on a summer night.
not clove cigarettes,
Okay.
but yeah.
Oh.
No,
Yeah,
and nothing,
cigarettes.
you guys, you don't understand what a nerd I was.
So then they win
Who?
on Hoth, the rebels, or they win in that they don't all die?
Yeah, they every time you win in this movie, it's because you don't all die.
Yeah,
Like there's no winning for the good guys in this movie
yeah. So
other
they-
than not
There-
dying.
There is no win.
there's only not die.
try.
Only, only try to live.
So they get out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, is this when Luke's getting out of there, but he crashes on Dagobah?
He has
He
like a
crashes
fever
on
dream
Dagobah?
that tells him to go to Dagobah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fever dream?
And then
That's
he
where Yoda
finds
is.
Yoda.
Yeah.
And Yoda trains him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first,
But
he's a real
kissing Death's
stinker.
ass, yeah.
Yoda's a real stinker at first, Dan's bet.
So's Luke's.
Oh, yeah.
They're
he's
both
like
stinkers.
Harry Potter when he was 15.
He
Yeah.
definitely is.
Double stinker.
Just a real jerk.
He's like, yeah, he's not as whiny as he is in the first one, but he's definitely got a tude. Mm-hmm. Because he's like, oh, I swiped a sword around with Sand Creeper from the last movie.
yeah.
What do we call him? Sand Kook.
Sand kook.
I already know how to be a
Oh.
Jedi. And then Yoda's like, do you know?
Do you? And he's like, I can lift a whole ship up.
Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah.
And then he also has a
Oh.
weird hallucination on that planet, too. There's
Does
a lot of
he?
hallucinating in this one.
I don't remember any of the fever dreams.
Oh, yeah.
And then Yoda dies.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No?
Not in this one.
He
Doesn't he?
doesn't?
No.
Oh, he goes back to Dagobah and then Yoda dies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you
and
could
then
say
ghosts.
he returns from Dagobah after that scene as a complete Jedi.
Oh.
So that's
Ah.
when they're all on outline.
What?
Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are all in like mystical outline in the
Yeah.
background.
It's like the
somewhere.
last scene of the entire trilogy. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
of the whole trilogy.
And they
Yeah.
And there's
shove
a third one.
what's his face in there.
Yeah.
There's a third person
Yes.
who is.
You know.
You're talking about the actor or the character?
No, just the character. I can't think of it.
Oh, it's Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, God.
Does he have the ring at that point?
Probably, yeah.
Probably. But he leaves Swamp
Yeah.
Land
Yeah.
early. He's like,
Yes.
I gotta save my friends.
And Yoda's like, don't be an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an idiot.
Yep.
Because he's young, dumb,
Don't. Just
Do
don't.
it.
full
Just
of cum.
don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Boom,
gross.
boom, boom.
Oh,
John
God
C.
bless him.
McGinley coming back.
But not really. Like, really, if anything, if anyone's full of cum in this movie, it's Han Solo.
Ew.
Yep.
Actually, no. Correction. If anyone's full of cum in this movie, it's Lando Calrissian.
Yeah. Stop.
Oh yeah, Cloudland. God, there's a lot of different lands.
It's great.
In this.
It's like a Super Mario Brothers game.
It is like a
Super Mario Brothers game. That was weird how that came out.
But is this the one where he like doesn't he like Hans Olo
Mhm.
gets put into
Kryptonite.
kryptonite?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the carbon thing.
Is that this one?
Yeah.
And then
Did
it
you get
melts.
a refrigerator with that on the front of it?
Save him.
Refrigerator with what?
You can.
With Han Solo in it? Like
A
a
whole
refrigerator,
refrigerator?
cover. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that'd be creepy.
That'd be terrifying.
Is
right?
it like black?
3D? Is it like 3D?
Yeah, it's like 3D.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
The whole point is to have Han Solo in the front of your fridge.
Oof.
I mean, I wouldn't want it.
No,
I'm just
I
saying
wouldn't
it's
either.
a product that exists.
Okay, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, is this also the one with I love you and I know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those lines? Okay.
Oh, what's
Right.
that?
Why aren't you writing this down?
I don't know.
Because she saves him.
Oh.
She's dressed up like Boba Fett, right?
No, that's the third one.
Oh,
What
jeez.
movie is this?
She can't save him if he hasn't been frozen yet.
Oh, he gets frozen at the end?
Yeah.
Near the end. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
but
That's
he
why
stays
nobody wins
frozen
in this
until
movie.
the next
Oh.
movie.
Fun fact:
Mm.
they froze him at the end of this movie because they didn't know if he was going to do the third one or not.
Oh.
So
That
they're
is a
like,
fun fact.
let's leave it dangling.
Yeah.
We could just get rid of him completely.
That is a fun fact.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good
I don't
negotiating
remember if
tactic.
it was like contract issues or they didn't like him.
Or if he was just like, what the fuck are we
Well,
doing?
maybe
I don't care,
things
what
were
is this,
too
space
weird.
now?
I want to go fly a helicopter.
Oh, maybe things were
I
too
should be
weird with
president.
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
they had a
Oh.
relationship. And he was married. It was a very confusing time.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Harrison,
Early
J.
80s.
Ford.
Yeah. It's kind of a, well, 2017 eyes.
So he says I love you or she says I love you?
She says
She says I love you. He says I know.
Classic.
I know that from
Rogue.
stickers.
Rogue. From what?
Stickers.
Stickers. Nice.
Yeah.
So he's like the Patrick Swayze in the Ghost World.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always
That's like
dittoing.
a ditto
Oh,
move.
yeah.
It's a
Always
ditto
what?
move.
Ditto move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely ditto move.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely the Patrick Swayze and Ghost of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
For sure.
So he goes to Cloudland.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Why?
What?
Does it
Why did
matter?
they
They're
Cloud-
in the clouds?
It's a
Cloud
Cloud City.
What?
That's
Yeah.
where Billy D. Williams is.
I just don't remember this
Billy D-
movie.
Dan's bet, Billy D. Williams is like, I mean, like in 2017 eyes, he's a total just like douchebag, but he's also very charming because it's Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. And the dude that the internet likes is in there too.
Who?
Who's got like the visor thing?
Lobot.
Lobot.
Yeah.
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 I don't know why the internet likes him so much.
I don't know. I think just because he doesn't actually do anything, but for some reason, George Lucas was just like, get a bald guy with a computer strapped to his skull and just put him in the background 100% of the time.
Yeah. So Lobot's
Wow.
there.
Looking forward
Can't
to
wait
that.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. No, that's not true. I don't remember if the betrayal that's in this movie, spoilers, was shocking to me or not. But I think it's played for shock.
Which betrayal are we talking about?
Oh, when it's like, hey, let's have dinner, but then Vader's there. Boom.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
it's played for shock for sure because like the Cloud City is all the whole Cloud City part is set up as like, oh, we finally found a friend after being like chased by the Empire for the entire movie.
To be clear, Lando is their friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of. He's a frenemy of Hans Olo.
Okay.
He used to own the Millennium Falcon.
Yes. Fun
And then Han
fact.
Solo
What?
stole it in a race.
I think he won it.
He won it.
Yeah.
In a pod race?
Oh,
Probably,
yeah.
I think I think they like played like space poker or something.
Okay.
Oh,
Beth
that's
is
better.
so nervous there's going to be another pod race in this one.
No, it's played for shock for sure.
Yeah.
Because they think like, oh, look at this charming dude with a cape, and then they open the door and there's the non-charming character with a cape.
Yeah. Because he also has a mask.
Yeah, and it's
And
like,
a respirator.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah. Great.
Beth
See?
nailed
Very
it.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's got to be all the details of this movie that are interesting, right? I mean,
Sure.
he just
I mean,
goes
there's
places.
a big reveal that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely played for shock.
One of the most shocking spoilers in
Ooh.
movie history,
Mm,
I think.
probably, right?
Yeah. Do you think people in the theaters like got up out of their seats?
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Like, what?
Their monocles popped out of their face.
Popcorn
Everywhere.
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 This is not the Star Wars I signed up for.
Like spitting out their soda. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
All their cherry frosties.
Oh man,
Sure.
it was a big deal though.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel sorry for anybody who, I don't know,
Like,
It's
hadn't
just-
seen it.
Is listening
Yeah.
to this podcast.
think
and
even-
doesn't know.
Oh!
Oh, so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler.
Cheers had a joke about somebody spoiling the end of the movie for Norm.
Mm.
Norm gets up. He's going to finally go see that movie, that Star Wars movie. Is this possible? Does this timing line up? And
I
he
don't
gets
know.
up and he grabs his coat. And as he's headed out, Coach says, "Oh, yeah, that's that one where Darth Vader turns out as the father. He's Luke's father."
Uh-huh.
And then Norm just turns on his heels, goes back, sits down, and has a beer.
Because he's like,
his
why see
joke's
it?
Like, that's
Yeah.
the whole point of the movie. But there's
Yeah.
action, adventure.
Well, I mean,
Sounds
they
like
didn't
there's
bring that
romance.
up in Cheers. But, yeah, I don't know. But that
Classic Norm.
Classic Norm. But I just can't imagine that those years would line up. I think about Cheers as a much more recent
Maybe
show?
there's a line before that where Norm's like, oh, it's playing at the whatever
Oh,
theater.
at the Dollar
Yeah,
Theater
maybe I'll
special
finally go
festival.
see it.
Finally go see it. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Right?
Or maybe it's a flashback and they all have cool mustaches.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just
And
realizing
Sam Malone
how
still
much
in his baseball uniform.
oh, how much I remember about sitcoms from that time. That is,
Speaking of sitcoms,
Yeah.
get a bunch of your friends to donate to our Patreon and we'll watch Friends.
oh, that is a smooth.
That was
Does.
you didn't.
transition.
What happened to the enthusiasm?
Yeah,
you used to have so
yeah.
much
You-
enthusiasm about it.
Well, I don't know.
Patreon.com/Totes Recall.
Wow.
Give us however much money it was,
We need
Even-
about $800 more a month.
and then we will do
Well, Big Friends Bank.
Big Friends Bank.
The recap podcast, sequential recap podcast,
I don't even know if it's going to be a recap.
I think it's a comparison.
Yeah.
podcast.
comparison podcast. Thank you, Beth.
Mhm.
Between Friends, the all-time greatest sitcom according to people,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and Big Bang Theory.
Which
the
is also a
Friends of a New
sitcom.
Generation? Question mark.
Right.
We don't know.
And even if you're not interested in this groundbreaking research that we're willing to do, for as little as $1 a month, you get access to our exclusive content.
Yes.
And we just recorded one, so that's cool.
Yeah. Teaser.
Teaser. It was good. It was fun. I'm pretty sure it's going to work out. So
Yeah.
find out.
We watched the trailer for the movie Rampage and reacted to it.
Basically, it was Totes Recall, but in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was reacting to a trailer
It was
instead
even
of a.
less than that because
Oh.
Molly made us stop early.
Yep. I wanted to keep talking. I wanted to give more bonus content. But Molly is a firm believer in the paywall
Yep.
and wants to keep everything locked down.
Capitalism number 5.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's
Ooh,
dad.
speaking of capitalism number 5,
Yeah.
The betrayal that we mentioned earlier is very much capitalism number 5, where Lando
guess
thought he
which-
was making a hot deal with the Empire, but then as he
You
learns,
can't make a deal with the Empire.
pretty much, as he learns in the next 10 minutes of the movie, this deal keeps getting worse, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he literally says that out loud.
Wow.
Should they be able to make a good deal?
Who?
The Empire. They're like the government. Don't they have all the space bucks?
Well, no, but that's the idea is that the deal is not good for Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
but
They,
like,
they could.
But why would they?
They are evil.
Yeah.
So you have to know that they're evil. If they like kept their end of the deal, you'd be like, all right, he made a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as good of a movie if Darth Vader was like, "All right, here's the contract.
Yeah.
Please sign."
I mean, Darth Vader
don't
might
know.
as well just be like, "Oh, is that a puppy? Do you mind if I hold it for a minute?"
Mhm.
Oh, sweet
that
dog.
would just
And
be
then,
the
yeah.
subtle evil of capitalism.
yeah,
Yeah.
We're
well,
just
subtle
trading
evil
money
of.
in a fair deal. But
Mhm.
is it fair for Hans?
Oh, so you're saying like you would rather that as soon as that deal happened, they then cut to like the laborers of Cloud City to show
Yes.
like their like shitty situation while Lando's eating space caviar with his silken cape?
I mean, I would for sure watch
Sure,
that scene.
sure. Now that I'm saying it out loud, yeah, definitely.
I would also watch the way more moral gray area
Ooh.
movie where Lando then redistributes his bribe money to the peons of Cloud City.
Yeah.
And he made 1,000 lives better by sacrificing this one. And now what do we feel?
Ooh, good point.
Wow. Well,
That
it
would be
sounds like
too hard for people to get into.
Yeah.
It seems like this movie is just going to be depressing.
No.
That is my
It's got
bet.
Cool landscapes.
Okay, landscapes are not. Listen, there were a lot of cool landscapes in Phantom Menace,
There was
and
just
was
one.
that not the most painful 2 and however many hours of my life? Yes, it was. It was. In hindsight, it might be worse than Freaky Friday.
Wow.
Whoa.
I really hate
that's
that
true.
movie, and I hope to never, ever, ever have to watch that sequel, whatever it is. I don't care what number it is. I don't know what will happen.
Your concerns have been noted.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway.
We're absolutely watching it next year when Hans Olo solo
Ooh,
movie
yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This movie is great. It's the most interesting one of the trilogy.
Well, okay,
Oh,
so
Hot take.
Hot take.
so how many Jabba the Hutts are you going to give this
It's
one?
not even in this.
Jabbathas. Okay. I'm gonna say 4 Jabbathas. I really liked this movie growing up. I would watch this one more than any of the other ones. I'm sure with 2017 eyes, I might have a few. It might give me pause in a few moments, certainly. But otherwise, I think it'll still be fun and enjoyable for the most part.
Awesome. We forgot. Is it going to pass the Bechdel-Wallace test?
Oh.
No.
No.
Not even among space creatures.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that.
Because I feel like even if there is a lady, like rebel soldier,
Mm-hmm.
she will be given an order from Hans Olo or like some random dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rando Calrissian.
Rando.
Oh.
I believe we linked to this last 2 years ago whenever we did episode 4, the first one.
Mhm.
There's a supercut of all the non-Princess Leia women dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's like 2 minutes, and it's mostly just Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. Or whatever her
lecturing,
name is.
or whatever her name
Yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So low hopes.
yeah, low hopes.
Very low
All right.
hopes. Hans low hopes.
Ah.
What do you
Beth?
think, Beth?
Jabbathas?
I'm gonna say 4. I think I'm gonna like it more as an adult as I did as a child, because I don't think I'll be as affected by the loss of a hand
Sure.
as I was when I was a small child.
Mhm.
And I also am something. There's a word for this, but like rediscovering Star Wars,
Mm.
because I liked it as a kid. The new ones have sparked further interest into Star Wars, and I've been waiting to watch this one, so I didn't spoil it for the podcast.
Oh,
But now I get to watch it.
Great.
yay.
It'll be delightful.
I will also wager 4 Jabbathas.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. It's the reason I'm not giving it 5 is because I don't think I'm gonna be surprisingly delighted by it,
Sure.
which I think is what it takes for me to reach 5, whatever it is. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's still this movie that I remember, and it's a very solid space movie.
Yeah.
It's got that.
But
scene
what about the
where
landscapes?
the halflings jump on top of the troll?
Yeah.
And separate the saucer section,
Mm-hmm.
and that's great.
Oh, there's a great moment where C-3PO finally puts in the chip that gives him emotions that his
Yep.
father built as
Yep.
a gift, but then he was murdered by his evil twin brother before he could give it to him.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So 4 Jabba the Hutts. On?
I'm giving it 3.5
Ooh,
Jabbathas.
Contrarian.
Well, I mean,
3.5.
Could have been 4 across the board.
That's true.
could have been, but who
Or
wants
on
to?
the floor?
Oh yeah, who wants to? Who wants to continue to listen to a podcast where all 4 people are rating it 4?
Sure.
Yeah.
But also, I really don't think I would like it that much. I think I'm being generous by 3.5.
Wow.
I
Do you wanna
think
just
I will
stick with
probably
a
end up with a
straight 3?
2.5.
Why not just stick with 3? Why not just plot a hyperspace route to Planet Coward and just say 3?
Because I feel like I did 3 a lot lately, and I want to be courageous, but only a little bit
Oh,
more.
okay.
Mm.
So
You
you're
know?
giving it a 3.5 because you think you're probably going to give it a 2.5? Okay.
No, it's fine.
I
Math
don't
checks
know.
out.
I
Math
have
checks
hope
out.
It has been so long since I've seen this that I feel like there are parts that I will be excited by, and I think that's probably why I was a little impatient with going through the bets, because I was like, oh, maybe there'll be something that will surprise me, but maybe there won't be. I don't know. It's going to be depressing and terrible. 2.5.
Jesus.
2.5 Jabbathas.
Wow.
Maybe it'll
You
come
already
up.
wrote that down just so you could.
Did you?
Yeah, it's in the description of our bet.
You knew what was going to happen. Great.
And with that, we're going to press pause and we're going to go watch Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, the second one. And we're back. We just watched 127 minutes of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's
Ooh.
fair.
A factual
Yeah.
lead in there.
Pew, pew.
Pew, 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 pew.
So many lasers.
Yeah, lots of lasers.
1980 lasers.
Hey.
Good job, Beth.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Good
Great,
job.
nailed it.
And I further looked up the date and I texted my sister to make sure.
Yeah.
And we did see this in theaters, and it was released in May, and so I would have just turned 6.
You think you
So
saw
I
it
was
like
6 years
opening
old.
month?
Probably. There was a big, long line. That's what my
okay.
sister remembers, is
Oh,
that
okay.
line. So,
Cool.
yeah, it's
You're
pretty
part
intense.
of history.
Yeah.
This is pretty
I'm
intense for kids.
very amused that you, halfway through that movie, you were beginning to doubt that you had seen it at all.
Yeah.
Like you were remembering parts, but you were unsure, so you had to text your sister to see.
Yeah.
To confirm
To confirm.
that you weren't just like you didn't happen to see like a book of production shots in your adult life or something.
I kind of wonder if my college sweetheart also made me watch this movie.
Is this Enter the Dragon guy? Or is this a different guy?
Oh, different guy.
Oh,
No, I
nice.
wasn't able to. We
Seal
never
the deal.
dated. That was a crush.
Mm.
No, this is my college sweetheart because he really liked the Yoda bits, and I just cannot remember.
He's just like, no, babe, it's a puppet, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much covered it.
pretty much covered
Yeah.
it. That was the whole conversation.
So let's run down Beth's
Oh yeah,
rundown.
yes,
There's a hand that gets cut off.
It's
Yep.
yeah.
for sure.
Two
Does
hands,
happen.
Yeah.
actually.
If you count Yeti arm.
That Yeti gets cut off, too.
Oh yeah, right at the beginning.
Foreshadowing.
There's a swamp, and Yoda is there, and training happens.
Yes.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Nailed it. Snowland
Yeah.
is there. Luke gets cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
never see him like shiver or anything.
Oh
but
well, he freezes
I mean, okay.
essentially to
He
death.
almost freezes.
Yeah. Unless he like he
Just
would
past
have.
the point
he-
of shivering.
Yeah, he would have frozen to death if he hadn't been shoved into that tauntaun.
Yeah, I could have
I
used
remember
a
there
scene
being
of
more
him standing around
guts.
going like,
Me too.
"Ooh," and rubbing
No,
his
he
arms.
passed out.
Yeah, man.
Just
Come
saying.
on.
He already exhausted himself from cutting off that Yeti arm.
Speaking of that, there's a horned fur thing. I think that's the tauntaun. Though,
Yeah,
you're
that's a
thinking
tauntaun.
of.
Oh, okay.
I thought of it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets warm.
Uh huh.
Yep.
He does get warm. Confirmed.
In like a water tank.
Oh,
Yeah.
later, yeah.
Bata.
Yeah,
You're welcome, nerds.
Because he's got space underwear on.
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
underwear.
Ooh, and that's our first look at what we learned later to be the loneliest robot in the Star Wars
Oh, yeah,
universe, which
Dr.
is the
Robot.
medical robot.
Oh,
Robot.
poor Med
So
Robo.
sad.
Oh.
Boba Fett's there.
Uh huh.
Eventually.
Why are people so excited about Boba Fett? Like, he's never named in this, right? And he doesn't even have a huge part in the third one, right?
I think what it was is that he just had a cool design,
He
and
looks
by this
cool.
point, like after the first one went nuts, like there was a toy for everything. So I think he just became very popular in the toy line,
Okay.
and maybe even in like the comic books that got started up too, because he just looked cool. Like I think it was literally just like whoever designed his costume probably deserves way more money than they ever got.
Oh, yeah.
because
Sure.
they are the reason that he's so iconic.
It's on display at the Lucasfilm lobby.
Mm-hmm.
There's Darth Vader on one
Did you
side.
go to visit George Lucas?
No,
No.
not personally. No, but I got to go to Lucasfilm, and that was pretty cool. But
Cool.
the Boba Fett costume.
There too, I'd be damned.
Okay, all right. Beth's been there. No
Yeah, but
big
you went
deal.
there for work, right?
I was there for work.
Oh.
Yeah.
I ran in very quickly before it closed because I read about it on Yelp.
Oh.
I don't know if it was Yelp. It was
Wait,
some
you
website.
could just run into the lobby.
Into the lobby.
Was
You
this
can go into the lobby.
9/11?
No, this was like earlier this year. I went in
Oh, all right.
January when I was in San Francisco.
Oh. It's a really cool layout for corporate office. Before I get into all that, Boba Fett's costume up close, the detail, it's incredible.
Cool.
It is even cooler in real life. And then also seeing it as compared to how tall and big the Darth Vader costume is, it just really helps you appreciate that scale. But yeah, they've got a daycare in the middle of the building so you can sort of see kids playing, like as you're walking through some of the hallways.
Huh.
And these kids are having the time of their lives.
Because they have android friends, I assume, right? Like there's little R2s running around.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they all get
it's-
little
Bally ones.
There's a kid in my neighborhood that has a like a sand speeder from A New Hope
Yeah.
just as a toy
Yeah.
that he can just drive around on the
Yeah.
sidewalk and stuff.
What?
Wow.
It's really cool.
That's awesome.
And I'm real jealous.
Yeah,
I might get one for my kid in a couple years.
Totally jealous of
They're
that
awesome.
kid.
Yeah. Every time I see it, I go, oh. Oh, look at that kid.
Oh man! Well, and the reason that we were inside of Lucasfilm was because they did a series of animations for Attack of the Clones.
Oh, sure.
And they were really great. Anyway, we went to go sit and watch them, and it was top secret. And so they could have sent someone with a DVD out to our offices, and we could have watched it there. But instead, they had us send 30 people to San Francisco to go watch it in their theater, which was really, looking back on it, it was so funny to me because on the one hand, it's like the least efficient way possible. And it is such a power move to be like, no, you come here.
Yeah.
But it was also, please pick 30 of your best and brightest employees and bring them to our corporate offices and let them see how gorgeous it is here.
Was it like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
I mean,
Like, did you have to
it was the
win a golden
corporate
ticket?
equivalent because I also got to go to their administration building, like their administrative building. It just looks like it's floating. Like all the parking is
Like
underneath.
Cloud City.
Well, it's kind of like Cloud City. Yeah, it's got some good landscape.
Okay.
But there's a statue of Yoda. I don't know how to explain it. It's otherworldly and incredible.
We have to experience it for ourselves.
I mean, I encourage you to.
You can go for free into the lobby.
But she's talking about this other building now, right?
Yeah,
There's a Yoda fountain in front of the lobby.
Where's
that's
the
true.
water coming out of?
I don't around him.
Oh,
Like
okay.
he's like
Ears.
sitting on like I
Oh.
don't know. I took a picture of it.
Okay.
It's very dignified.
Well, maybe when they hear about this incredibly thoughtful synergy episode we're doing for the new one, go see it.
They see that Last Jedi bump.
Yeah, exactly.
That comes
yeah.
out?
Yeah, when like someone runs the it's just like, I don't know what happened. The numbers are amazing this time. And then somebody's like, you heard about this Totes Recall?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? And then Catherine, whatever her name is like, get those forward to my office immediately.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna happen.
There's
It's gonna
no-
happen.
Okay.
So Beth also said that Vader would be in it.
Yep.
Crushed it.
Oh,
And
Nailed it.
Lando.
I didn't know how many chokings there would be.
Carillion?
I don't know what I said.
Yeah.
What is it? Calrissian.
Calrissian. Yep.
Can we
Nailed it.
pause here
Yeah.
and just talk about all the chokings? Like all of the ways that Darth Vader kills so many.
Oh,
Speaking of just corporate
You
structure.
want to get into that now? Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote down working on Vader's ship has got to be like the worst job placement in the Empire, right? Like as soon as you wake up, or like you get through the academy, you're just like, oh, you're on Vader's ship. You're like,
Oh no. Yeah, I
that's
felt
gotta
like
be
it was
toxic.
it was
right?
such a great picture of how you want to get promoted but not too much.
Yeah, right.
You know?
You don't want to do so well that you're part of the elite squad. Where you're like, oh, you should be on Vader's ship. Like, no,
that's okay.
Oh, I spilled
Oh.
coffee everywhere on this important document. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then that one guy's got to be thinking like, I'm fine. I'm like fourth down or
Right?
whatever.
Oh,
But then in just a couple days,
Oh yeah, you gotta figure like in
like
that
3
first
admirals are strangled.
Yeah. In that first scene, you gotta be like, "Ooh, thank God I don't have that guy's job."
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just left and right.
If we're talking about Vader's ship, can we just? I'm just gonna jump right into my like collective MVPs of this movie, which were like all of the what I just said, what I referred to as just the nephews who were like working as crew members on the ship. Like every scene where Vader was talking to his crew, there was always like just some guy who had like one line or just like in the background like hitting buttons. And I just every time I just pictured someone just being like, just put your nephew in a scene. Like he loved the first movie so much. Just come on, George, just put him in there.
A lot
And
of favors for friends.
because they were all just like,
Oh, truly bad.
oh, they like couldn't quite grasp. They like either couldn't quite grasp like just the reading of their one line, or like maybe like what their job was in that scene in terms of just a background character. I don't know. Like there was one guy who just like compared. There was this great moment where he's standing next to like the fourth admiral or whatever, and the fourth admiral was like very like rigid and in his very proper stance, and like just this clear contrast where the nephew is just sort of like slouched in a not quite as well fit uniform, kind of leaning against the wall almost.
Yeah, they were real good.
Oh,
I this time, and then I was remembering previous viewings being just very intrigued with the layout of the bridge of
Yeah.
the shoes, where there's like a big deck above, and then everybody sits way below
Yeah.
in like almost cubicles.
right? Can you imagine if you worked in an office where like the CEO could just walk above you while you're working at your terminal?
Yeah,
That's
the
like
power.
a pit orchestra.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that'd be so rough.
But that is kind of the setup of a lot of reception desks,
That's true.
where they have this ridiculously tall, like if you're seated, it's eye level with you, like Pam from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Why? What is that desk? What is that desk about? And it's in a lot of reception areas.
It is.
I've sat behind that desk in various times in my life.
Wait, she's high up?
No, she's low down.
She's low down.
Like the desk
Well,
around her
yes.
is high up.
Oh.
like
Yeah,
like
sure,
it
sure,
just
sure.
invites people to
counter.
walk up and
Lean,
lean
yeah.
over and lord over you. It's a really bizarre setup.
Yeah, they were definitely. I'm like, God, I'm just really thinking about this. Can you imagine if you're just like nothing's happening, right? There's no rebels around. Like you're just traveling from point A to point B. You're at your workstation, just whatever, working up a report, and you just suddenly hear, like right behind you, just like shit.
You gotta like shrink space solitaire
Right? Yeah,
real
exactly.
fast, or you're gonna get choked to death.
Or you like can't remember how to type
Yeah,
because
like-
someone else is watching you type.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah. Or like, yeah, you start screwing up and like the computer makes like a weird little like "Bang" noise like when it can't do something, or like on Windows where it goes like thunk, or Macs or whatever
Yeah.
do that, and it just keeps making that noise while Vader's right behind you, just like shit.
Yeah,
be
I would
rough.
not want to work on
No.
a Star Destroyer. Or what's the bigger one called?
The bigger one
Yeah.
that he's on, it's a Super Star Destroyer.
Oh,
Oh, I was gonna guess
well done.
that, and as a joke.
Oh no, that's real.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, it's got like a name because they all do, because they're ships, and that's how ships are. For some reason.
Oh, like the Queen Victoria.
yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Sorry,
I mean,
nerds.
Specifically that one, but
Yeah.
yeah, that type of ship, Super Star Destroyer. Yeah, I was very enamored with them.
Right? Because like there's so many stories there that you just don't get to see.
Yeah, they're working hard.
They're working so hard. They're trying, right?
Yeah,
They're trying. And then he starts outsourcing halfway through. So then you feel like, God, I could get choked at any time. He's bringing in bounty hunters.
yeah.
Oof.
That was that one of my MVPs was that first bounty hunter that we see, who also gets to stand way
Yeah.
above, and like some little drone looks up and there's just big like claw feet.
Oh, the
there.
Reptoid Man or
Yeah.
whatever.
and
Yeah.
he's just growling at him for no reason.
Yeah, what a dick.
I didn't remember that part at all.
What a
No.
dick.
Yeah.
That was a puzzling scene. I mean, I suppose it shows you how far Vader was willing to go to find them, but it was the fastest plot twist I've ever seen, or plot turn. It's like, I give you this assignment. We've already got them. All right, never mind. Like, it happened in 30 seconds. Did they just have the costumes and they wanted to put them to use? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like, there was no point in him charging the bounty hunters because immediately the situation was resolved.
but then they got away. So
Well,
he was just like, hold on, come
No,
back,
he
come
didn't.
back,
He-
come back.
That they do not show that.
Well, Boba Fett's around later.
But Boba Fett's there for Jabba the Hutt.
Jabbatha.
Jabba the Hutt.
But he's in that little who's who of bounty
Ooh,
hunters.
so maybe what happened is Boba Fett's the only smart one, and all the others are just like, well, fucking, why do I even come over to this ship? I could have just stayed at home today. But then Boba Fett was like, I know this Hans Olo, and I'm sure he's nearby.
Oh, I get it. That's the first time we see Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Oh.
I really now wish they had just taken a moment to like show the Reptoid guy just like going back to his ship and calling his wife, just like, it's not gonna happen today. I'm so sorry.
Well, this is a bullshit assignment.
It's like, I know you told me to. I am putting myself out there. It's the Empire.
You know what though? You wouldn't believe their offices.
Oh my God. I can't. I am so glad I work freelance. Can you imagine?
Ugh. sit in those floor cubicles.
They got those Roombas
Yeah,
going
right.
down every hall.
Okay,
Oh,
there
they're the
has to be
best.
like even going to the bathroom would probably be like you'd like trip over those weird little mouse robots all the
Oh, and they're
time.
watching you.
God,
Yeah,
there's-
and
Like,
gotta,
you
like-
cannot take an extra long bathroom break.
oh no way.
You gotta climb out a ladder to get out.
Just
of
to
there?
go to the bathroom. So like you go up there and then Vader turns right as you're climbing out, and you're just like, I'm just taking my 15,
Yeah.
sir,
It's like,
my lord.
and then he would be like, "Now it's 5. You've already taken it. I'm changing the rules because I make worse and worse deals."
Oh, how great would that be if there was a scene where like one of them like started to come out of the ladder and like made eye contact with Vader, and Vader just like looked at his watch and just like stared at him, breathing, intimidating.
I just need to make a personal call.
Ooh. You're gonna get force choked.
Oh God, yeah, that's got to be rough. Oh man, I just can't imagine.
I do think that would probably still get written up as like best place in the universe to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh well, I mean,
Because everybody's afraid not to write it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably true.
But also, I think there are lots of workplaces that get written up as the best place to work, and they're
Right.
awful.
Right. I mean,
And
I'm
like
sure you
sometimes
get.
the cooler sounding the thing is
Yeah.
like, oh, you get to work on the Death Star,
Yeah.
but like people are really mean.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it probably sounds cool, but then it's like the Emperor's like creepy, like cult soldiers are everywhere, like pushing you around. Oof,
Ugh, like, oh.
Yeah.
it's gotta be rough.
I don't like those guys.
Which guys? The Empire?
The Empire.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like the stormtroopers that have weird snow hoods on.
Oh
They're
yeah.
Oh,
kind of
that
like
was
the KKK.
creepy.
The space
Yeah, I
clan.
didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like, are those the snow troopers?
Yeah.
So like,
According to the action figures, yes.
Oh, that's a different action figure to sell.
Hmm.
and so their helmet also has a cowl
I
for the
guess.
cold.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those normal stormtrooper helmets; those will definitely let a draft in.
Yeah.
I forgot to notice if they're still wearing ski boots.
Great question.
I'll go back and look and post
Oh,
it
we gotta
somewhere.
watch it again.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that's okay. I think once was good
So.
for
I wish
me.
they'd like trimmed it with fur and just gone all out.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the boots had a little fur on
Like
the.
Mr. Freeze's army.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yes.
And they all had hockey sticks.
Yep,
Yes.
ice
Space
skates.
hockey sticks.
But yeah, it's cold on Hoth, and they're there. That battle is cool.
It is cool.
Still cool.
It's very cool.
Really liked it. Still a grappling hook.
Yep.
They take down some walkers,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but in the end, they got to get out of there.
That shot is great.
Which one?
The first time that you see the walkers.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Because they're like gigantic and it looks cool. And it's on the video screen.
Yeah. How do you think how do those get down there?
Space.
Yeah.
Just space?
I don't know, big
Spaceship?
transport ship.
I feel like they
Beams?
probably their legs fold up under
Oh yeah,
them,
maybe.
and they just sort of get transported down.
Yeah, like some kind of little crane. They,
Yeah, like at
crane
the
them
bottom
down.
of their feet is
Yeah.
like a, rocket to.
Sure.
They
deal
should have
with
showed that
propulsion.
part. Because it looks like they're much smaller and then all of a sudden they like stand up on these really tall legs.
Ooh,
That's intimidating.
Yeah.
yeah.
They could just get parachuted out like
Oh, sure.
Furious 7.
Yeah.
7? Yeah.
That's totally what they do. Just
yeah,
a big
they
parachute.
just back up out of the
But I feel like it'd
plane.
be less
Yep.
intimidating if their legs were flailing as they came down. You know.
Sure.
That's
You
true.
could probably keep 'em.
maybe that's why they didn't show that
Yeah,
part.
maybe.
Also, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Who?
That would be less intimidating if the AT-ATs, as they fell, if they made a sound.
The machines made that sound. It's like there's a weird
Whoa.
design flaw where when high speed winds go through this air duct. Whoa, whoa,
I'm Joey Lawrence.
whoa! It's me, the AT-AT.
I'm falling so fast. Whoa.
Oh, it's so cold down here.
Oh, my little toes.
I hope nobody shoots at me.
Oh. Well, nobody did because.
They shoot at him.
Yeah,
Oh,
miss
don't
a
shoot
lot.
At Adam, am I right?
Oh, speaking of, I hope nobody shoots at me. Can we take a moment to talk about Luke's like shipmate or whatever, who is like
Oh, Dick.
this
Dax.
close to basically saying like, I'm 2 weeks from
Oh.
retirement. I got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where it's
Daddy.
just like,
enough.
oh, I feel like I could take on the whole empire.
Yeah. He
Then he's-
dies pretty fast.
Like 2
Yeah.
minutes later.
And then I didn't. It must be. I guess you're like in the heat of the battle. You're not thinking about it. But I would imagine it'd be pretty disconcerting just to keep flying around with just a dead guy behind
Right?
you.
Yeah.
Because like they show his helmet just sort of like bobbing around all dead man style back there.
Yeah. Do you think they just made that guy sit there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
wiggle
I
your head a
do.
little bit.
Yeah,
Cheaper than a puppet.
that's true. It's like we already spent our puppet budget.
Yeah.
You got to sit there.
Flop around.
Just flop around a little.
That was sad. And it was interesting because you got to know Rogue 2 pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
which, brought up all kinds of questions about Rogue 2. But anyway, you got to know him really
kind
well.
of
And so when he
questions?
isn't Rogue 2 coming out, or is that just Rogue 1?
Molly,
What?
we're gonna lose our invite to Lucasfilm.
I love Rogue One.
I also love
That's
Rogue
my
One,
favorite
but
Star
also,
Wars movie.
turn this podcast off and go see Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, right now.
In theaters now.
Thank you, Catherine. Catherine, please invite us, Catherine.
When you buy your ticket, mention this podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Please do. Please do.
You'll get 10% off.
Oh,
If they don't give it to you, demand it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when
Insist.
people are like, "What are you talking about?" Just give them a wink.
Yep. Give him a little wink.
It's a secret deal.
They'll know what it means.
Yeah. Be like, call Catherine. I hope her name's Catherine. Good God. I'm really digging into
Is that
this.
the head of Disney?
She's the head of something. She's like always, every time they make an announcement about Star Wars, it's like Catherine, whoever, and somebody.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ooh.
What?
Tweet at us.
Tweet at us.
Catherine.
Catherine?
Star Wars production heads.
Yeah.
Or you yourself.
Of
Or Channing
which
Tatum,
our
of course.
listeners are legion.
Absolutely.
Come on. But I feel like we were onto something there for just a second.
Ooh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Rogue 2. You're talking about Rogue 2.
Oh, yeah. You get to know Rogue 2 so
Yeah.
well. And it was so sad when their ship went down. But then another ship went down 2 seconds later, and we are like,
Who's that?
we don't know
Yeah.
who that was.
Yeah, that's true.
I was bummed out.
Yeah, only Beth.
That guy.
I mean, if you had been like, there had a dog in it, I'd be like, no.
They
That was
just
the dog pilot.
No.
that was the best dog pilot in the rebellion.
No, it was dog 1.
Oh, Dog 1. I would watch that movie. Hold on,
Oh,
Catherine,
that's
are you
old.
listening? I would watch Dog
Yeah.
1.
Okay, Pixar, I've got a pitch for you. It's Star Wars, but everybody's a dog.
We bet that there'd be double stinkers on Dagobah, both Luke and Yoda.
Double stinkers.
stinkers. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say Yoda's a stinker. He's
he's kind of tricky.
He's
a
like
scamp?
a lovable rapscallion.
Rapscallion, you'll say?
Oh.
Or scamp. He's pretty
He's
scampy.
scampy. I feel like when he first, I love the little turn about face that he does, where he comes out as just like, I'm just an adorable forest creature. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm gonna annoy you.
Give me your food.
Yeah.
Oh, a light. He's like a little toddler.
Yeah, it's great. When he, to this day, like I always cackled like an idiot when I was a kid, but to this day, I love that scene where he is playing tug of war with the robot and like just savagely trying to beat him with his walking stick.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Great.
He's really good. I was delighted by how much I was delighted by Yoda.
Yeah.
Sassy Yoda.
Me
Yeah.
too. I mean, he is a Muppet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he reminds me a lot of the Muppets in
Yeah.
that way that he is on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he is performed by
Yeah.
one of the Muppet Primes,
Yes.
Frank Oz.
Yeah.
So.
So there are just a lot of things that are delightful about him. That
Yeah.
are,
Also, that puppet is crazy. Like the amount of articulation in that thing's face is really impressive.
And its
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
Yep.
oh, in some moments it looks so weirdly human.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a puppet.
Like there's like brow movement
Yeah.
when he's being serious and when he's being a scamp.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they ever made him CG.
Yeah, I
agree.
love that
So he
whole
could do
arc for
backflips
him.
and
Oh,
shit.
right. So it could do backflips.
Oh, yeah, because they had to have
That's
him.
coming, Molly, next year.
Yeah.
Backflipping Yoda.
Oh, man, I am already dreading that. I'm not Yoda. That part will be a delight.
Sure.
It's pretty much everything else. Yeah, no, I love that. And I was thinking, too, about how people talk about the Dalai Lama and how childlike he is in day-to-day interactions and just seems very joy-filled. And that kind of reminded me of the being enamored by the light and the
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, I guess once you've reached nirvana or a certain zen-like state, none of this stuff matters
Right.
anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you would... Anyway.
Or alternatively, he saw that ship land. He's like, I'm totally going to fuck with this kid.
Who's this asshole landed on my swamp land?
He doesn't know who Yoda is.
Come on.
Yeah,
I'll show
come on.
him.
Yeah.
Although he probably knows exactly who
Just
he
because
is.
his dad murdered all my friends.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I'm sure him and Ghost Kook were talking to
Obi-Wan?
each other before Luke landed. It's just like, by the way, he's on his way here with his robot friend.
Yeah.
And maybe he's like, wouldn't it be funny if you just pretended to be a weirdo in the forest?
We'll get him good. Yeah, can those ghost Jedi just go wherever, whenever?
I wonder that because when he starts talking to Yoda in Yoda's little hut,
Yeah.
like I had that thought of just like from now on, does Luke just always think like, is he watching me right now? Is Obi-Wan here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that had to have been unsettling, right? To just
Yeah.
suddenly hear his voice in this dude's little house,
Yeah.
which could totally have fit R2D2, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Droid
Hard
bias.
to.
Hard
There's-
droid bias in this movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
throughout.
a lot of droids as third-class citizens in this.
It's rough.
Do you feel like they left him
Series.
out of there specifically so he would go up on his tippy toes?
I mean, maybe 'cause that was adorable.
Because it was so cute.
It was really cute.
But
And he got rained on a bunch.
buddy.
Also, might have not put him in there because the set needed to have a slatted floor for Frank Oz to move around in, and they didn't want to put the R2D2 thing on it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still, it was rough. I mean, it was raining.
I mean, but R2D2 also flies through space without any protection.
So he's
right?
fine.
Well, no, I'm just saying he's built to weather
Sure.
these things.
But I just feel like emotionally.
Whereas like C3PO
Oh, yeah.
is
Ugh,
like
what a
made
baby.
of twigs. What a baby.
He is. I still love C-3PO.
I do too.
I remember 2 years ago, whenever we watched A New Hope, it was like the first time I liked C-3PO.
Yeah.
Liked him in this one too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he embodies my adult anxiety
Yeah.
or whatever, so I connect with him a little more.
I-
But like, he gets it. Like, yeah, we should panic all the time.
Like, he does seem to have the most genuine responses to literally everything that's happening. It's just like, oh, we're in the middle of this insane laser war.
Yeah.
And we have nothing. Like, we have nothing to do. We can't defend ourselves. I don't have legs.
Yeah, I think he represents like because if you think about how much stoicism is in the Star Wars
Yeah.
character pool
For sure.
generally, right? And then you've got Chewbacca, who's your, I don't know, is your ego or your id? You know what I'm talking about? Like he's
Yeah.
all gut emotion,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got C-3PO, who's all brain anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without them, it would, oh my god, it would be Phantom Menace. That's what Phantom Menace is missing. Is everybody is deadpan and dignified and boring as shit.
Yes, correct.
Oh man, there's no
Jar Jar's-
Chewbacca.
Jar Jar's in there.
Oh, you can stuff it. You can stuff it with that Jar Jar talk.
I'm saying that's the character, the
Yeah,
type
that
that
It's
you're looking
it's what it's
for.
supposed to
That's
do.
what they
and it's
ended up
awful.
with. They're like, what if we did C-3PO, except instead he was a giant adult baby who was a lizard?
Oh god. Well then, what's Chewbacca? What serves the Chewbacca role?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think.
And that's part of the problem.
I think like the closest thing they have to Chewbacca role is probably Ewan McGregor, right? Where he's just like, oh, we should maybe react to this.
I think he snuck them all in. I
Yeah.
feel like they tried to wring him dry, and he was able in a few scenes to actually connect.
McGreg's?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, he works so hard. I love him.
Speaking of working hard in this movie, though, I agree. Chewbacca is the best, and every time Chewbacca did anything, it was delightful. I really like every time I watch this now, or the more and more I realize like that he really is just modeled on like a dog, like just his relationship to people, where it's like, oh, there was a loud noise, maybe someone's in danger. Chewbacca's the one who comes back to see what's happening, or like I don't know. There's a point where Han's just like yelling at someone, and Chewbacca just like comes over. It's just like, oh, everything okay? Are we okay? Okay, and then just goes back to living his life.
Yeah, as annoying as some parts of Han Solo's character are,
Yes.
Ooh.
I do really appreciate him and Chewbacca's
Oh yeah,
friendship.
it's great.
And like while they're just yelling at each other while they repair stuff,
Yeah.
they are
Like
kind
an
of
old married couple.
Yeah.
It's
it's
absolutely
very
like
charming.
they're deciding to do repairs themselves. It's just like, what? No, turn it off. Off.
Yeah,
Huh? Or I guess,
that's really good.
that's great. But yeah, do you want to talk about that? I wrote down
Oh.
Han Solo creep supreme question mark.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this is
man.
I think we talked about it during Blade Runner most recently.
Yes.
Just the toxic, the root of toxic masculinity for a lot of young boys, of watching the successful romantic endeavor of pushing a woman up against the wall of your spaceship.
Yeah.
And then she's saying no, and you kiss her anyway, and now you're in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It's rough.
It's like they set it up in the movie like all of the love story is implied.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never see the part where they like legitimately like each
Like
other.
actually got to know each other.
Yeah. And then all you're seeing is like them being in a fight together, and then it ends up with him kind of cornering her and kissing her, and she says stop doing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clearly
Yes.
stated. and then she loves him.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how relationships work, and
Yeah. If you are a virile and assertive enough man, you get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh. And it doesn't matter if you're kind or decent
No.
at all.
Yeah.
In fact, that's just more charming.
Yeah.
It was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
And not just for the content itself, but because this is an entire generation figuring out what it is to be a great guy.
Yeah. And it's funny because now looking back on it with that lens, though, it is sort of funny to watch how he reacts to like everything else in the movie, though, because there's like a point where like his ship, like they keep the whole like the running theme of their story is like they keep trying to get the hyperdrive working, and it never works. Every time they're like we're doing it, we're gonna escape, it doesn't work. There's a point where he literally says that's not fair, and I was just like, that is such just like the voice of the entitled male of like the world we currently live in. Of just like, wait a minute, why isn't this all working out for me like it's supposed to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very fragile moment.
Yeah. But it's also like he's still got the girl. Like the
Yeah.
universe is kind of pushing back against him, but like his romantic endeavor is still A-okay.
Yeah, because I had remembered him being sort of like more smart alecky, and more like Spider-Man is always making jokes at the same time that he's fighting,
Yeah.
like that.
Quippy.
Yeah, but rewatching it with those piercing 2017 eyes, it's like no,
It's a
thank
little
you.
Well, even in the first one, there's more of a back and forth between them in kind of a like almost like a loving way, I guess.
It's certainly reciprocal.
Yeah. they're kinda
like
just
they're
flirty.
it's like flirty, snarky kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But this one very much seems like she's like, leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
She's
know.
playing hard to get.
Oh,
with.
okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's when, a woman's like, seems not interested, means she is interested.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you just push her against the wall
Oh
and
god.
kiss her, and then you're in love.
Wow. I'm not sure that's how it works.
That's how it worked
I
out
mean,
in the past.
Oh, right.
Distant past.
That's right.
Is
Or
the
the
future.
distant future.
Yeah, it's unclear.
Right? Well,
This
both.
movie's the past,
I know, but it's about the future.
right?
See?
It's not about the future.
It is, isn't? Wait,
A
is this
long,
supposed
long
to be
time ago in a galaxy far, far
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
It's in the past.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You just get that out?
Yeah.
Just that you just
Wait.
processed that?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
So
Yeah.
this is
This is the past.
It's the past. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's a comedy.
I've seen.
That's good space humor.
Are you serious?
It's at the beginning of every movie.
I know, but I've read it, but I never thought about it. I was assuming it was in the future because of spaceships.
Sure.
Yeah.
So are we some remedial planet? Like, how do we fit in?
We maybe are just some weird like evolutionary offshoot of whatever species Han Solo and Leia and Luke are that some point made their way to our galaxy and then I guess just like crash landed and lost all their technology.
Maybe that's how the new trilogy ends. Is that the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
creates a huge crater and kills,
Kills
all the dinosaurs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And drops off the obelisk.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, from
Yep.
2001.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be danged.
Yeah. I mean also who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
No, that changes everything.
It does?
Yeah.
Really?
What part does it change?
Well, it makes it a prequel to my current life.
Is that how you see movies?
These are the Molly Chase prequels?
So like any period piece that you see, it's like, oh, a prequel.
So it's like whether or not the people in the movie should know about you or not. Like Star Wars people, they don't know about Molly
Star
Chase
Trek,
yet.
though, definitely knows
Star
who
Trek
Molly
knows
Chase
about
is.
Molly Chase.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
glad we could be here. For
Yeah, I am also glad we could be here for this.
Anyway, that's too bad.
Oh, that Han Solo is just kind of a creep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very charming otherwise.
Yes.
Like, take out that part,
Yeah.
which you shouldn't because it's important. But, like, the other things, I was charmed by him
Yeah.
outside of the
Wow.
aggressive sexual harassment.
Yeah,
That
like
is,
his.
just want to point out that's often the case.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's
right.
true. That is true. He's just
That's how
using
they
it.
trick you.
Yeah, he's using his charming relationship with a dog bear to mask that he is a sexual predator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why everybody puts dogs with them on dating apps
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
to trick you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, he loves dogs. He must be a nice
Can't
guy.
be a monster.
Oh, he's best friends with a Wookiee. He's got to be nice.
I heard even Darth Vader likes dogs.
Probably not.
Nah, probably not. But there's definitely some propaganda out there with just like a poster of Darth Vader like coldly petting a dog.
The dog dies.
Yeah, exactly, because he does it too hard with his robot arm.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then get back to
What are we getting back
Han
to?
Solo being a creep.
Oh, sure.
Also, before any of that happens,
Yeah.
Leia puts the smooching on to Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Saying like, "Oh, I'm into this guy."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I don't care about that. That's
Yeah.
my friend, but I'm still gonna push up on." Sure.
Well, like, why doesn't he like get at Luke? Like, hey, man.
Well, it's like another layer. Like, respect women.
Yes.
But also respect that woman is like going for your friend.
Somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke didn't seem to have any agency at all in any of that.
I mean, he did the
He did the classic Chewbacca
Chewbacca lean after he got smooched.
back behind
oh,
the.
he did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, when?
Gross.
I missed that completely. When was that?
The smooch.
Yeah.
When everybody gets back from being inside horn beasts on Snow Planet, they're having banter time,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and Han Solo is like, "Hey, I bet you really missed me or whatever."
Yeah.
And Carrie Fisher crushes it.
Yep.
And is like, "I didn't miss you at all," and then smooches Luke a bunch. Not a
Oh.
bunch,
Just once.
one time.
I missed that
And
part.
then Luke is like,
He's like,
bam, puts
"Ooh,
the arms
in your
back.
face, bro."
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he scored a point
Yes.
in the women
the game of
attention.
men.
Ugh.
Jeez.
What a terrible, terrible game.
Yep.
So that's just an added layer, I'm saying.
Yeah. Where Han doesn't respect friendship,
Yeah.
Mhm.
He doesn't respect women or friendship.
except for the Wookiee.
Oh,
yeah, but even that, he's yelling at him a lot.
He does yell at him
I'm just
a
getting
lot.
madder at him.
Yeah, you are.
He's got a cool outfit, though.
Great outfit. Can we talk about
and
it?
then maybe Lando steals it later.
Maybe. It does look that way.
Which, I don't know why. That's a downgrade from a cape, in my opinion.
Right?
As cool as it is,
Well, I guess he lost the cape, though.
Sure.
And he just had the weird, like, blue
it's
shirt.
like a polo shirt.
Yeah.
Like a flowy polo
So
shirt.
maybe at that point, just like, well, if I'm, maybe that's like the idea. Maybe Chewbacca insists. He's like, if you're gonna pilot the Falcon, you have to wear the vest.
Yeah, that's the piloted vest.
Oh,
piloting
but-
vest. That's why he wasn't wearing it in the first scene when he was on Snow Planet. You don't need the vest if you're not piloting the Falcon.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's like the Apollo.
What?
Apollo 13.
Vest.
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 Oh, vest.
Vest is very
to
important.
show that you're in charge.
Well, or just to make sure the flight goes okay.
Right.
Luck vest.
Superstitious.
It's a lock vest.
Yeah.
I love it.
Billy D. Williams is also kind of a creep.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But also kind of charming.
I mean,
Like just
I mean,
in like his.
these are not mutually exclusive.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
right.
He is creepy in a different way,
Yes.
which is a public creepiness. Where like Han is doing it like Hans Olo
Yes. Thank you.
is doing it kind of like in a hidden way,
Mhm.
like when he's alone with Leia.
Yeah.
And then C-3PO comes in and saves the day by hitting him on the back.
Yeah.
And I'm putting this in air quotes, but you can't see it on the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Ruining the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lando's just like straight up creepy in front of everybody and nobody says anything, which is another problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is in position of power at that point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he is the owner of that property.
They need
That's
a favor.
true.
They need a favor. And
He's
he's
a rich landowner.
Everybody's got to sort of smile and laugh along. I'm sure it's fine. She's not objecting,
right.
as if she's in any position to.
Hmm.
All she gets is an eye roll. And then Hans isn't very particular. Han isn't very helpful.
About.
Han Solo.
I mean, he like grabs her and pulls her away from him to show that she's his.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
So,
That's right. That happens
Makes
twice.
them walk arm in arm out
Uh-huh,
of the
uh-huh.
off of the I guess they're not in anything. They're
Well,
like
that's
on
how
a
you
roof.
know he likes her, is
A roof?
because he behaves jealously and
Oh, sure.
possessively.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
How else
true
do we know
love.
they're in love? Yeah.
That's how you know.
Yep.
Man, this is worse and worse.
But on another level, Lando Calrissian wears a cape and is played by Billy D. Williams,
is great.
so he's kind of
He's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great mustache.
Great mustache.
And I felt like they were maybe too hard on him in the end, but maybe they weren't.
I mean, I guess, like to his credit, like he's like, okay, I'm gonna help you escape. Mm-hmm. But I guess, like, especially if you're the dog, right?
Yeah.
If you're the dog in the situation, like it's like you brought space Hitler here, and he put my best friend into a rock slab.
Yeah, that's gonna get delivered to Jabba.
Jabba
the
Jabba.
Hutt.
I
Jabba
mean,
the Hutt.
He gave him a pretty good strangling.
He did.
But yeah, he kind of. I think it's understandable that he gets roped into that deal.
Yes.
Like they got there first. He kind of had no choice.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, other than to like throw himself on the sword and die.
Yeah.
But then he comes around a little too slowly to helping them out.
Uh-huh.
Like he has to get screwed over like 4 times before he's like, all right, I'm getting you guys out of here.
Right.
Like he was okay with Hans going back to Jabba,
Kinda.
but then once he couldn't take the princess, yikes! That's when he got on board.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, Billy D.
Cool cape.
But also, like,
Cool
he probably
cape.
Cool
like,
cape.
would have. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess you could also like he probably just realized by that point that like, oh, nothing Vader says is true, so he's probably just gonna kill everybody anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, he'd probably just kill all of them. Like, even if you put Leia and the Wookiee on his ship, he'd probably then just like, oh, by the way, blow up this Cloud City before we leave.
Yeah, for real. And it was both altruistic and smart of him to pull the alarm and tell people to evacuate.
Mm-hmm.
It was extra cover for them in the chaos, and also, you know, it'd be nice to have a heads up.
Yeah, if the Empire was taking over your home,
Yeah.
for sure.
I do find the little microphone really weird though.
Okay.
He like opens up a cabinet
Yeah.
and then takes out a little stick mic, but
Yeah.
it's like not. It's real spiky,
Uh-huh.
and then just like speaks into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like it should be a button on the wall.
Well,
But then
I
anybody
mean,
could access it.
Yeah.
And that's future technology.
It's
Well,
past-
oh, that's
past
right. This is
technology.
past technology.
Right.
Right.
I'm saying a button on the wall.
It's
Oh,
future technology.
It's
yeah.
future
no,
technology.
she's
They have
right.
To use a
Intercoms
a
of the
Wi-Fi
70s.
mic stick.
Yeah, whereas also in the past, to interface two machines, you have to take like a weird little spinny stick and jam it into a port and spin it around a bunch.
Yeah.
Rather than just communicate through like, I don't
Telepathy.
know, binary sequences. Yeah.
Yep.
I just can't get over it. This is like from the past.
Which part? Which is it? Is it because there's so many snakes?
Oh my gosh, there were so many snakes in this movie. Who remembered all the snakes?
I
Yeah, I
had
didn't.
no memory.
I remember
they were
one.
everywhere.
I remember there was like one big one. I didn't remember where they were to the point. Like I didn't remember that they were like literally an infestation where every scene Mark Hamill's just like casually pulling them off of things.
Ugh.
Do you
Yeah.
think Dagobah is Earth? Because
Ah.
snakes are like, that's an Earth animal.
Yeah. they
No-
got like a-
none of the other creatures are found on Earth except for humans.
Huh.
Maybe those were real owls and not just space owls.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
that's
maybe.
true. They were like some space.
But they had like iguanas.
looked like they were, like-
real
Yeah.
iguanas.
Yeah.
It looked very primordial.
Maybe.
I buy it.
Okay.
Right.
So you think like?
So what country do you think?
Ooh, great question.
Yeah.
Probably America, right?
I mean, number 5.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Well-
Pangea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like which part of Pangea that then
Oh,
turns
America,
the one
you
that
said
turns into
number
America
five, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, because Yoda's American.
Yeah, because if we recall, Yoda says the Force is in everything, including the land. Obviously, that's America.
Yeah.
Obviously, if any country on this planet is imbued with the Force, the great power of the universe, it's America.
Obviously.
Obviously,
No question.
no question.
Great.
Ooh.
Yeah, so many snakes.
Yeah.
If someone had asked me how many snakes do you think of this movie, I would have said 2.
Yeah.
Nope.
There's probably 6 or 7.
At least
Yeah.
the best one was right near the right in the last moments of Swamp Planet where Luke is getting ready to leave. He's like talking to Yoda and just casually reaches into like one of the engines of the ship and pulls a snake out of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's pulling out snakes from the whole thing.
He must have been doing that the whole time, right?
Why is he picking up so many snakes? Like he does that too in Yoda's house. There's a snake like on the
Something.
sand table or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and he just picks it up and throws it across the room.
I guess
Maybe
he
he's
just...
a Slytherin.
What?
Oh,
I don't know.
He's House Slytherin?
Maybe.
You think so?
He's never even in the Justice League in that house.
Yeah, that's true. No member of the league has ever been, or no Slytherin has ever been a part of that league, except of course for Martian Manhunter and Wolverine.
Ooh, Chewbacca's got to be a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Loyal?
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Puffy.
I don't know. He's pretty courageous.
He's great.
Maybe he's a
Chewbacca's the best.
Gryffindor. Anyway.
He's the heart and soul of this movie and this galaxy.
Yeah, and that's...
He
yeah.
saves C-3PO. I want to talk about that when the little pigmen play
yeah, I
Wookiee
do
in
too.
the middle.
Yeah.
He goes down and he finds a dismembered C-3PO.
Yeah,
he
because-
had found
Again, like Dog, he heard the noise and was just like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then caught the scent, presumably, and was just
Yeah.
looking around, all
Yeah.
curious,
and finds him about to go into like a furnace,
like an incinerator.
C-3PO
Yeah.
almost dies.
Yeah.
In this, but then he's picking up parts. But then the
A
little
little.
pigmen that live in the basement of Cloud City.
I assume those are like the recycling staff, like sort it, right?
I guess.
Like it's single sort, and then they have to
they're
like
the-
separate
They're
the.
like the Morlocks. They
Yeah.
just like are
Speak for the
shunted
trees.
underground.
Right.
No.
Speaking of time travel, different times.
what were you okay.
Morlocks.
Morlocks are from the
Time Machine
Time
issue.
Ugh,
I mean, Star
I
Trek.
can't keep up.
They're from Star Trek.
I'm sorry, they're from the X-Men also.
That's true.
Anyway, the pigmen live underground.
They're great. They're sassy.
They don't get paid anything.
Clearly.
So they just find amusement in
fucking with
tossing
them.
a C-3PO head
Yeah.
over Chewie's head.
Okay, I have a
And
question about that.
Wookiee in the
I
middle.
want to put a question to all of you. So we watched Chewbacca, which also this is why I love these movies, like about just how insane they are. Is that we have a movie where there's an entire scene where it's just puppets who don't speak English, right?
Yeah.
How many movies are you going to see that? It's great. Anyway, so they're messing around and tossing parts around, and it just cuts to him with a box full of C-3PO, right? Like he has succeeded. So my question is, did Chewbacca just rip those pigmen apart?
Oh,
Like, did he murder all of them?
I mean, he has a short temper.
He has a short temper, and we are told in the first one he will rip your arms off.
Yeah, and you let the Wookiee win.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
and they are not letting him win.
No.
But they are also so much smaller than he is. I don't see him punching down. You know what I mean?
He looked pretty frustrated though.
He was frustrated, but if he had gone straight to rage, I think he would have already hurt them. I think he does give him a good scare, though.
Do you think after the wipe, what happens is he like stops and he's like, "Okay, deep breath, Chewbacca," and it's just like, "Okay, guys, listen," and then they just have a talk,
Sure.
yeah.
or he eats them.
He might. I mean, I,
I think
don't
he
know.
intimidates them by pulling some other robot parts apart.
Sure, or maybe he just flexes.
Yeah,
You think he just flexes?
straight flexing.
He's got to be cut under that fur, right?
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous.
There was one shot where I was like, "Wow, his arms are really skinny."
I thought the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. They were. What was happening? He gets mad about something in the ship, and then he puts his hands up in the air, and I was like, "Oh, he has really skinny human arms. What's happening?"
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's all core strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a thought during that scene where they're throwing the head around
Yeah.
because the last one doesn't catch it and it hits the ground.
Really?
And I wonder if that was an accident, and they were like, "Oh shit."
I hope so.
Let's drop this really
cut.
expensive prop on the ground.
That's our only C-3PO
Dun,
head.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh, that'd be
Little,
amazing.
little pigman.
George
you
Lucas comes in dressed as Darth Vader.
Yeah. Except he can't wear the helmet because his head's too big.
Burn,
Ooh,
Lucas.
Wow. How,
Burn.
we're not gonna get invited.
Oh shit!
He
No,
doesn't
he doesn't
own
own
it.
it anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mark Hamill
mm.
does a great job
He's so
of being
great.
sweaty in this.
Oh,
Like he looks like he gets real sweaty
Uh-huh.
multiple times.
Do we want to talk about why?
Well, he's training
Yeah.
and fighting.
Yep.
Those are the two main times
Yeah.
he's real sweaty.
And as we know from Dwayne the Rock Johnson, people who kick ass sweat all
Oh,
the time.
that's right. That's right.
okay.
From his Instagram account, where multiple people always ask him why he sweats so much in Fast Five. His response is that he's a real person.
So what we're saying is Mark Hamill kicked ass in this movie.
He sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
He really did.
He was still a little whiny. He's a
Sure.
stinker on Dagobah, but he
Yeah.
pulls it around.
Yeah.
He does. Oh, and he did all his own stunts.
Yeah?
Except for one. Yeah.
Which
Wow.
one?
When he gets sucked out of the thing.
The window?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
But when he does like all of his weird little jumps,
Yeah.
neat.
The
That's
one where
pretty
he
great.
gets shot out of that hole. He
I
like
guess
does
so.
a Jedi jump or whatever you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
call it.
It's a
Force
very
jump.
good
Force jump.
Come on.
So he can that dude could run and then just do a flip?
Every jump is a force jump. You have to use force.
The
against
force.
or-
Capital
The
F.
force. It was a good joke, though.
wasn't a joke. It's science.
That's just physics.
Jury's still out. Jury's still out.
Just because a woman talks about science doesn't mean it's a joke.
Oh,
Dan.
no.
We need more STEM women.
That's right.
Microsoft commercial.
What?
What? Are you just spouting words?
I don't know. There's some Microsoft commercial that keeps playing on some YouTube video that I watch.
The same video?
But it's just like
It's girls,
It's
girls,
just-
girls.
young girls doing science.
Okay.
It's like, all right, yeah, I support that.
Sure.
But also, what are you trying to sell me at the same time? I'm confused.
Okay.
Get away from me, Microsoft.
No.
Wow.
That's how I feel about it. But yeah, I don't know. It just like he sweats profusely,
Uh-huh.
and it's realistic, and I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying.
I thought the best sweating was in that last scene when he's fighting Darth Vader.
Ooh, yeah.
When it gets kind of like steamy. I couldn't tell if it was sweat or steam.
Great point.
Wait, what?
There's when he's at the end of the movie.
Yep.
There's a scene where he fights Darth Vader.
Okay, I'm following so
Who
far.
is a Sith Lord.
Uh-huh, yeah.
But they like hit a pipe or something and it gets really steamy. And I couldn't tell if he was like sweating or if it was because of the steam.
He got too close to the steam.
Yeah.
Maybe a little combo.
Yeah, because there's steam everywhere.
Yeah.
I really like the way he handled the lines right after the reveal, like the big shocking reveal
And
of
what
"I am
reveal
your
is that?
father."
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that he, he's clinging to this little tiny platform in the middle of nothingness, as far as we know, and he's getting this fairly devastating news. And it's almost not so much the news; it's that Ben didn't tell him, so he's got some betrayal in there too. But he has this kind of primal little kid way of saying, Ben, why didn't you tell me? And it's not true and stuff. It was really excellent, I thought.
And then double points for that performance because on set, the guy who plays Darth Vader said Obi-Wan killed your father because George wanted to keep it a secret.
What?
He only told James Earl Jones.
What?
Wow.
Whoa.
He's like, James, say this line instead.
No
But
way.
on set, the guy who plays Darth Vader and talks during the filming said Obi-Wan killed your father.
Oh.
And that's what was in the script.
Crazy.
Whoa.
Mind's blown.
And it's in the
Twice.
past. Did I
And
mention
yeah,
that it was in
and
the past?
in this
All right,
universe,
I'm
they
starting
don't
to
even
get
know
used to that
about you,
one.
Molly. They don't even know. You haven't even
You
been
hadn't
born
been born yet.
Yeah, and then I think I haven't thought about this before, but it's interesting to have that sort of emotional distress paired with the physical distress of being over a giant chasm.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
always
and
hit
having your
me-
hand just have cut off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That always hit me so hard of just like dangling
With a
I don't know, it's kind of
handless
like a
arm.
nightmare that I have sometimes
Right?
of like being like I'm going to fall and I have to hang on and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That hits me in the nightmare.
Yeah.
And he like does it twice. He's like on the thing and then he falls and then he's on another tiny
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
and
But-
can't hold on.
As we
Ugh.
saw, I mean, it's believable because as we saw during the Dagobah scenes, dude's got guns.
Oh sure,
Mm-hmm.
he's got guns.
He's got guns.
He's sporting them.
Sporting them.
Sporting dem guns. So 2 more pythons right there.
Ah!
Boom, boom, boom,
Yes.
boom, boom.
That's amazing. What was I going to say?
Don't know.
I don't either.
Sweaty
Shit.
guns.
Dude. My python joke was
Yeah, that, you kind of blew my mind with that Python joke.
I had another MVP, which is
Oh, please.
a guy on Hoth, one of the rebels, who's just standing next to one of the cannons, and it looks like he's just got like an iPad.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is like behind a cannon shooting. He's just like standing straight up with like a little clipboard iPad thing, just drawing
He's
or
just
whatever.
taking inventory during the battle.
All right, that's one laser blast. I'm gonna have to put that into the stock room.
It's like, oh, I was supposed to do this before we left. Shoot.
Speaking of freaking out,
Yeah.
there's the fever dreams that we talked about, which is one is just Obi-Wan appearing in Ghost Force.
Yeah, I guess it's not fever dream so much as just Obi-Wan doing his ghost thing
Yeah, but the other one he goes to like the Cave of Forgotten Dreams
or whatever.
and sees Vader who is himself.
Yeah.
And I think this was the first time that scene didn't confuse me completely. I don't know if I've watched this as an adult.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, it's foreshadowing.
Right.
He's his own dad.
Yeah.
I get everything now.
Yeah.
And I know when I was a kid, I was like, what is happening? I just couldn't comprehend any part of
I
it.
think more to the point, he's his own dark side.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because there's
Also
that
that, for
very
I mean, I think it's less about the dad thing.
yeah, there's that very like on the nose line where he's like, "What's in there?" and Yoda says, "Only what you take with you."
Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Yeah,
Ghost
it's
But also, what's going on in that cave? Is it just like a bunch of weird mushrooms?
ooh, you think so? Like it's just like a bunch of crazy swamp mushrooms like shooting out gas, like hallucinogen gas?
Oh.
I think it's just the force.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of force is there.
Or like he's just alone with his thoughts for the first time.
It's like a vision quest.
That's like where Washington, D.C. will come, the capital of our great nation.
Yes, the nexus of all force
Yeah,
powers.
this is
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Swamp.
Mhm.
That actually checks out.
Yep.
You're right.
Okay.
When that scene was happening, it's
Mhm.
like one of the first times that I've ever thought, I wish I knew what R2D2 was saying.
That whole time?
Like, because he's saying something, and I'm like, I don't really understand at what emotion he's conveying in
Yeah.
that moment. And I was just wondering if somebody's ever gone through and just like done a translation for R2D2's
Yeah.
vocals.
I never really considered like what his personality is until the moment where near the end where Chewbacca has finally put down pile of C-3PO and R2D2 is like dragging him to the back so he can put him back together and they're talking and C-3PO said like R2D2 beeps a couple times and C-3PO was like, well, of course I've looked better. Like I just suddenly thought like, oh, R2D2 is just like that really like enthusiastic kind of childish friend of yours. You know what I mean? Where he probably like once they got back there and he was putting C-3PO together, he was probably like, and then the little green guy picked up the ship with his mind. It was crazy. There were so many snakes. Oh, like, you know, like he's just this super enthusiastic, like.
Oh, I always pegged him as like being really sarcastic from the way C-3PO reacts to him a lot.
That's true.
It's usually like he's
Kinda
leveled
sassy.
some
That's
sick
true. He
burn
is very
on him,
sassy.
and like he gets all huffy from whatever R2D2 said.
That's a good point.
But he gets huffy all the
I
time.
mean,
Yeah, he gets huffy about everything.
Yeah, as he should.
Yes, he should.
We all should be panicking.
We should all be panicking all the time.
Dr. Robot.
At
At the very end of the movie is the space window. Someone predicted the space windows.
Beth.
in this,
That was Beth.
Yes.
And it's kind
Nailed
of it's a good ending. I like the ending shot of just like them looking into space and being like, you know, it kind of sets up like we need more hope.
It's like there's another movie on the
Yeah.
horizon.
Hey, look at that movie coming straight at us. And Han and Leia are in love, and it is what it is. And then C-3PO like puts a hand out to R2D2 and friendship.
Oh, but it's
Give me
not
a
Han and
Luke's
Leia.
there,
It's
'cause
Luke.
Han's in a
it's
rock.
Luke and Leia.
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, our
Um,
friends.
They're
It's a friend hug.
their friend hug, but also she smooched him anyway.
Well, yeah, but I think at this point they have more of a telekinesis
Yeah.
kind of connection.
Oh yeah.
He breached that force barrier or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, it
Wow.
pans out to the two pairs. Everybody is in love.
Yeah, everyone has a partner,
Has a partner.
in space adventure.
They're
Friendship.
getting through the hard times, and there's just Dr. Robot just still behind the table.
And like the way that robot is designed, like it definitely has like a little slouch to it. So it just looks like it's just sitting there like, no friend for me. I never noticed that robot in the background before. It was
the
the
respirator
funniest
was
thing in the-
here, but
And it-
she left.
oh
And pivotal to this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings Luke back from freezing death.
Yep.
Gives
Gives
Luke
him a hand. Not even a thank you.
Dr. Robot.
Not
How about
even
giving
a
that robot
thank-
a hand? Am
yes,
I right?
thank you. You are right.
The part that I thought was the funniest thing in
Mm.
the world, and I'm still laughing at it
Uh-huh.
right now, is when they're in the Millennium Falcon and C-3PO is like has been shut down, but only about halfway through the scene. Who was it? It was
It was
Leia
Leia and Han.
and Han
Yep.
are
having
talking.
a very intense
And, like,
conversation.
Only about halfway through did I realize that the entire time C-3PO is just kind of in the corner, like dead eye.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
So good.
Yeah, and then you start like once you fixate on him, you're like, oh, he's still breathing.
Yeah, it's just
Like the guy in the suit is still breathing,
He's trying to stay still.
like trying as hard as he can. Oh, but he can only. I mean, he can only breathe through that little slit in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're having the most intense conversation in the foreground, but once you've broken from that,
Can you imagine being that guy? And then George's like, cut, we got to do it again. Okay, keep it together, Anthony.
the
It's
suit
okay.
has got to be just filled with sweat
Oh,
and,
Oh,
and condensation.
Hey, people who kick ass,
Ooh,
yeah.
they
They
sweat.
sweat.
Did this pass the Bechdel-Wallace test?
No.
No. There was one woman who called an ion cannons.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she did such a good job.
Yeah,
She did,
she
actually.
did, and we
Great
joked
job.
that maybe
She was not a nephew. She was a professional
she was a
actor.
professional actor. She did Shakespeare probably, or whatever American Shakespeare is.
Mammoth.
Sure, or like Tennessee Williams, maybe. I don't know. Tweet at us, playheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I thought all the time when I was watching, I was like, there could be so many women in this movie. There could be.
There could be easily,
Yeah.
like really
It'd
easily.
be not hard.
There are a lot more women later in the newer movies.
But still in the past, Molly. They still don't know who you are.
Yeah.
It's getting closer to your birth.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not there.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, before we get to our final reviews of the movie, we love to
We'd love to.
do this, is read a review of our own podcast, Totes Recall, in the impression of a character from the movie we just watched, in this case, The Empire Strikes Back. But as much as we would love to do that,
So many opportunities.
we can't because we don't have any new reviews.
And it's a very specific kind of review, though.
5-star iTunes review. Or maximum review somewhere else.
Yeah.
What?
But you have to tell it. You tweet at
Aw.
us if
Yeah.
you rate the podcast anywhere else.
Yeah, if you gave us like 100 out of 100 nerd
On
points
Meta
or whatever
Pod
on
or
pod
somewhere.
pod site,
I'm not checking there.
yeah, send us a link.
Yeah.
Tweet us a link.
I spend all my time looking at iTunes and seeing no reviews.
Yeah,
and being
he's
sad
too
about it.
busy looking at Star Wars catalogs for his son. I put that in quotes.
Yeah.
We heard it.
Think
You
of
can
that.
hear
We
it
could have
anyway.
read a review as Yoda. We could have read a review as Ghost Kook. We could have read a
Ooh,
review
Darth
as
Vader.
Chewbacca, Darth Vader.
Williams.
Oh, as one of the bad nephews.
Ooh, as one of the nephews.
Chewbacca.
This movie is great.
Like
that.
Someone else.
I was doing R2D2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, beep,
All
boop.
of those could have happened. Could have.
But they
happened.
won't.
They won't.
So get one in 2 years time at least.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
If
Whenever
you
we
want
do Jedi.
If you want an impression of
Oh,
the
in a
original
Star Wars.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter. The point is, send us reviews.
what is I'm guilty to everyone.
Yeah.
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 What is this? Is your fault.
Yeah.
No,
It's
we
not
made-
our fault for not networking enough. It's your fault.
Yeah.
Shut up, nerds.
We're like Dr. Robot in the background.
Oh no, we're 4 Dr. Robots. Dan, you gave it 4
Yep.
Jabba Hutts,
Yep. I forgot that's what it was.
thinking that you. He was not in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Confirmed. For sure not in this
Mentioned,
He was
not
mentioned.
movie.
Yeah,
Not it.
and I forgot to look up the hut, what that is.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Tweet at us, hut heads.
Yeah, Hut Heads tweet at us. Hashtag What Dead Hut.
Oh, nice.
Pizza Hut.
No.
Don't
What?
tweet at us.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want Pizza Hut to tweet at us.
I mean,
No.
they can, I guess.
It's
if
Oh,
they-
reverse
wait, that's not the kind of
psychology.
pizza.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, we definitely don't want Pizza Hut to tweet
No,
at us.
if anyone
It's off-brand.
shouldn't tweet us, it's Pizza Hut's Twitter account. At Pizza Hut, presumably.
Probably.
Unless they really fucked up.
Pizza Hut
Pizza the
official.
Hut.
It's Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah, that's a thing already.
Yep.
I take it back.
Oh, don't sue us, Mel. Mel's dead. Is he dead?
No.
No.
Who do I think is dead? Someone's dead. It doesn't matter.
Lots of people are dead.
That's true. Ooh, a lot of people are dead.
Let that sink in.
See, this is like the Empire movie. It's all dark. There's no real winning in this episode.
You gave it 4.
Yes,
You
4
liked it as a
Jabathas.
kid?
Mm-hmm.
Thought you'd still like it.
Yep. Confirmed.
Great.
Yeah, great time. Still, I think it's still the most interesting one. I don't know, like it's not as, it's quieter than I remembered, despite it being all like battle pew 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 pew. There's a lot of moments of them just like hanging around me, like, oh, what do we do now? Which I didn't remember. as a kid, because
Yep.
who cares? Because you're a kid and there's just like shiny robots everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think, I guess we'll find out in 2 years, it's still the most interesting of the three. The first three.
Beth, you also give it a 4. You thought you would not be as affected by the hand cutting off to ruin your enjoyment completely.
Yeah, that gave me no emotional.
None?
None.
That's the way to
Wow.
be an adult.
Now I'm just cold-hearted.
Those
Like-
2017 eyes.
Yeah,
Like you're a
I was like,
carbonite.
that's nothing. Yeah, I would stick with 4. I enjoyed it. I don't think it is a perfect 5 movie. I think I still like New Hope better than this one. But maybe it's because I felt like there was, like, more sassy Leia, not Leah.
Who are you?
Who's Leah?
Jesus.
In that one.
Mhm.
And so this one didn't really have, like, someone who I felt, like, really was, like, a cool character I could latch onto. Even
Yeah.
though she was in the movie, she just more was, like, in it, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
So, that.
Yeah. I also said 4 because I think I would like it a lot, but it wouldn't surprisingly delight me. That's right. It's a good movie. I liked it a lot.
Not delighted, though.
Not delighted. I was delighted, but not in
In
a
a surprising way.
surprising way.
Okay.
Delighted
Except
in a
by Dr.
predictable
Robot.
way.
I mean, Dr.
Yeah.
Robot was like an amazing, it's like unexpected cherry on top.
And
Yeah.
and the pigmen playing Wookiee in the middle.
Yeah.
I was delighted by Yoda.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I was delighted by Yoda.
I
Still
wasn't
sticking at 4.
Okay.
I was delighted by Chewbacca
Yeah, he was great.
and Yoda. What did I give it?
Molly, you
Well-
wanted to give it a 3.5 because you wanted to give it a 2.5. So in the end, you ended up with a 2.5
You talked yourself down to a true 2.5.
with hope to go higher than that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
That you had hope.
No, that I had hope, and it
I
is
do hope.
higher than 2.5. I think what's so interesting about The Empire Strikes Back is its pacing is so odd.
Mhm.
It's like a collection of short stories that are following very different threads.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I understand that a lot of movies are like that, but the way it's pieced together is kind of disjointed, with some pieces being more comedic and some being horrific, and it just as a whole piece I thought was hard to take in, and it was hard to latch into some of the characters' emotions, which is why I think I really love Chewbacca so much, because I was like, I get that, I get what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And R2-D2 has always been a favorite of mine. And I love the Yoda, all the Yoda scenes, everything that he was in. I was like, cool. But yeah, I don't know if I'm evaluating it as a standalone movie, it almost seems unfair because it is a bridge movie between two other things that are happening. So as a bridge movie, it's extremely successful. Was I entertained? Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
So how many Jabbathas?
I don't know. 3.75.
What?
3.75 Java.
All right.
That might be our first non-half.
Yeah,
think it
it
is.
is. It definitely is. You have broken our rating system
Oh,
and it has
no.
evolved into a new form where it can be quartered.
Wow.
I also would like to say I was totally fine and comfortable with the lengths that you went to reach that rating system.
I also found it a perfectly reasonable
Oh,
length, a
thought it
perfectly
was too
reasonable
long.
amount of discussion about your own thought
It was
process.
boring.
Okay. Do you just make yourself laugh because you were boring? You just amused yourself by being boring?
No, because you were trying to trap me into agreeing that it's okay to go on and on and on
It's almost
about your
like,
rating system.
Oh.
And I evaded that.
Mm-hmm.
You
My
Darth Vader that.
Oh, Jesus. I regret doing this episode now entirely because of that. Because of that moment.
Well, check back next month for an episode, but also in a year
Yeah.
when we watch Attack of the Clones.
Probably.
God bless America.
And Molly
really?
really hates
I
herself.
don't
Yeah.
really-
Oh, it's going to be a great time.
I
I
already
will
hate
too.
it.
Not excited.
One
I'm
job
very
of the
excited.
HUD. One, maybe zero.
Oh, I'm gonna go 0.25.
The system works.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.